lipstick ninjas, welcome back to Chai Time with Meesha. Today on the menu we have the second release of the Milani Color Statement Matte Lipsticks. I have 4 shades to share with you today. As per usual, I'm going to go into the swatches and the lip demos, and then I will wrap up with a review for you guys. First up, we have a neutral nude shade with a lot of brown to it. So it's a perfect nude neutral shade for someone of a medium to deep skin tone. And this one is called Matte Beauty. I love this color. You guys may have already, by the time you're watching this one, seen my Maybelline second release of the creamy matte lipsticks, and this again sort of reminds me of shades like Maybelline's Clay Crush or Nude Nuance. This is right along the lines of those 2 shades, so if you like those 2, you are gonna love this one. It's a beautiful, highly brown toned nude and very wearable for women of color or even women with lighter skin tone. This is going to be a beautiful shade for the fall. I think it's appropriate year round, work appropriate, nice interview color. I really like this one, and again, being that it's a neutral shade, I was a little worried because I was like, oh my gosh, please work for me. You look so beautiful, and I'm really happy with it. And I am already going to tell you that of the 4 shades that I have to show you, this applied the best. It feels creamy, it has a nice velvety semi-matte finish. Second one up is called Matte Luxe, and it is a ba-bam bright pure orange color. This is definitely a warm, I want to say has a bit of yellow to it, pure orange. Like I don't see any red or coral in this. Isn't this a beautiful orange color? I love it so much. It's so beautiful. But unfortunately, I can see my natural lip pigmentation peep through. This one definitely applied a little patchy, and as I tried to add layers because it was looking a bit sheer as well as patchy, it started, like the additional pigment started to cling on to dry patches of my lips, which I couldn't see when I wore Matte Beauty. I was like, how did this happen? Like, are my lips this dry? So it could partly be my lips. If you have like really plump, big, not naturally textured lips, this might work nicely for you. I do want to say that this is a sheer matte shade. I definitely felt the need to layer it, and then as I was layering, it started catching on to the dry patches and looked really dry. So I'm not happy with the application or formula of this one, but I'll talk more about that towards the end. Next one up is called Matte Love, and this makes me think of a velvet holiday shade. It's very, it has a bit of berry in it, burgundy in it, and it also has a brown undertone to it. Okay guys, so it looks really pretty, doesn't it? But as you guys saw in my lip demo, I definitely layered it on, especially on my bottom lip, about 3 times. Again, this one, it's not as obvious as with the orange shade, but this one also starts clinging, especially on my bottom lip, not so much on the top lip, onto these like almost dry patches, which I'm not able to detect with certain other lipsticks or when I'm not wearing anything. And those dry patches, because it's a deeper lipstick, look a little dark, so it almost like the color starts to look a bit uneven. It's like this dark line or dark dotting and then the color. And again, this is a sheer one. I don't mean sheer like a lip gloss or a sheen type of a lipstick, but it's just sheer. It's not high pigment. Like, I'm not touching it to my lip and thinking, whoa, so much color. Next one up, this one is called Matte Fearless, and I think one has to be pretty fearless to wear such a dark color. Alright, I forgot to describe this color to you guys because I was so taken by its darkness. But this kind of reminds me of like blackberry or blueberry jam, or like that filling of pie. So yeah, but it's definitely a blackened purpley, sort of blackened purpley color. That's how I'd describe it. It doesn't have any brown tones. It doesn't have any red tones to it. So yeah, I really like this color as well. I feel like it applied a bit better than the orange one, Matte Luxe, and applied better than Matte Love. It's not as sheer as them, especially on the upper lip. It did apply more evenly, and then I had to go in 3 swipes on the bottom lip to even it out. It doesn't really cling on to any dry patches or show the dryness, but as you can see in the center, the natural lip color peeked through, which does happen with deeper colors. So I think if you have a nice dark lip liner to go along with this one, this color is definitely workable in comparison to the orange and the velvety berry color that I just showed you. I already have a review on my Instagram page for 2 of the matte lipsticks from the initial release, the first release. And if you get a chance, please take a look at that review as well. I'm going to link it down below. But I just kind of looked over my review again to give you a comparison. So the formula of Matte Beauty, I feel like, is somewhat different, especially because it applied so well in comparison to the 3 colors I showed you afterwards. This is definitely a nice, creamy, velvety semi-matte. It's not a true matte, meaning it doesn't like suck the moisture out of your lips and exaggerate your lip lines. It doesn't have a sheen to it. It is a matte color, but it's creamy. It's opaque. It's not like as richly pigmented as like Marc Jacobs La Creme's or NARS Audacious lipsticks, or even like the ColourPop matte lipsticks. The formula of this one is creamy, but it's not the same creaminess as you get from the ColourPop matte lipsticks. Those are almost more like satiny and saturated with color. I purchased these at Walgreens. They were affordable. They were $5.79 each. Now, if you find them at CVS, you can use a coupon or the extra care bucks if you have any saved to try to get a deal. I know Milani was, I'm not sure if it still is by the time this video is posted, buy one get one half off at CVS. And if your local CVS has the new shades, you can definitely consider getting them while they're on sale. Overall, my best one and the one I recommend from this collection has to be Matte Beauty. The Matte Fearless is a beautiful color. I think this one is a dupe for a new MAC lipstick from the Matte Lip collection, and that shade is called Instigator. I swatched that while I was in store. I didn't purchase it, but this could be a close dupe for that one. And formula wise, I feel like it comes second to Matte Beauty. I definitely wasn't happy or impressed by Matte Love and Matte Luxe. As far as the scent goes on these, if you own any of the normal Milani color statement, like regular creamy lipsticks, they have a really like cosmetic candied, almost like watermelon candy sort of a scent. These fortunately do not have that scent. They have the very faintest, like I had to like go like that to try to smell this scent for you guys, and it's like a very faint, barely noticeable vanilla scent. So if you don't like that, I don't think this is gonna, you know, bother you at all. As far as staying power goes, they have the staying power of like an average lipstick. It's gonna, you know, it's gonna transfer onto your coffee cup, food, whatever. If you eat, it is gonna, you know, remove. This one, Matte Beauty in particular, reminds me of the formulation of the new Maybelline Creamy Matte lipsticks, and in that way I feel like it's different from the initial release of these Milani matte lipsticks because it doesn't have that sort of waxy texture. Matte lipsticks are a bit confusing because when you apply them, they glide on so smoothly because they have that sort of waxy texture, and you're like, oh, this is gonna look great, it's not gonna be drying, it's not sucking like the hydration and moisture out of my lips. But then you see the dryness and you see the patchiness, and then you get a little disappointed. I hope you found this review helpful. Stay tuned for the next one. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, bye!